The Kansas City Bosses set of experiences mission meets the Philadelphia Hawks retribution visit in Super Bowl 59. The Bosses, drove by the top mentor-quarterback combo in the association in Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, are hoping to turn into the primary NFL group to pull off the three-peat. However, they haven't felt like a juggernaut for the whole season. Their in addition to 59-point differential during the ordinary season would be the fifth least by a Super Bowl champion. Would it be a good idea for them they take out the success? In any case, they went 12-0 of every one-score games and are falling off their best hostile execution of the year subsequent to scoring 32 focuses to bring down the Bison Bills in the AFC title game. That set up a Super Bowl rematch with the Birds, who rode a season for the ages by running back Saquon Barkley and a predominant safeguard to a 14-3 standard season record. Managers' picks. First glance at Bosses Hawks. Early Super Bowl picks. Unavoidable issues and matchups to be aware. 2. ESPN staff. My most memorable bet. Early picks and expectations for Super Bowl 59. 3. ESPN. Philadelphia has been filled not simply by seemingly the best program in football, yet by harsh endings to the last two seasons. After a lamentable 38-35 misfortune to the Bosses in Super Bowl 57, the Falcons staggered down the stretch and lost 6 of 7 last year, prompting the ouster of the two facilitators and inquiries regarding mentor Scratch Sirianni's work status. You convey those 2 chips on your shoulder, left tackle Jordan Mailata said, and ensure that doesn't reoccur. Mahomes' 3 passing TDs and Jalen Damages for complete TDs were both at their playmaking best in Super Bowl 57. This denotes the 4th case of a quarterback rematch in the Super Bowl. Every one of the past 3 were won by the QB who ended up as the winner in the principal game. Could Damages and the Hawks turn the tables? Here is a more critical glance at Falcons Bosses Cycle 2. Play 116. Boomer, Goober C. Bosses vs. Hawks in Super Bowl LX. Chris Berman and Goober McFarland take a gander at how the Bosses and Birds coordinate in front of their confrontation in the Super Bowl. What's different about the Birds since they lost to the Bosses in the Super Bowl a long time back? What improve and more terrible? The expansion of Barkley has been enormous. Pick quite a few his home calls to see exactly the amount of a game-changing danger he has been in his most memorable season in Philadelphia. He has 7 scores of 60 or more yards this season, the most in NFL history. The Falcons' essential back in 22 was Barkley's backfield accomplice at Penn State, Miles Sanders, who ran for just about 1,300 yards and 11 scores that year to make the Ace Bowl. Be that as it may, what Barkley has done has been groundbreaking for this offense. He really wants just 30 yards to pass Denver Horse's HOFer Terrell Davis for most hurrying yards in a season, including end-of-the-season games. Sacks were the bread and butter of the 22 Hawks guard. They had 70 of them, the 3rd most all-time. Hasten Reddick and company, however, were killed by the Bosses' hostile line and the broadly smooth field at State Ranch Arena in Super Bowl 57. The current year's gathering, drove by guarded facilitator Vic Fangio, isn't as productive surging the passer, 41 sacks, however has influenced players at each of the 3 levels, including cautious tackle Jalen Carter, all-ace linebacker Zach Bond and freshman corners Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. It's a focused, actual gathering that has a propensity for producing turnovers. Tim McManus. Should the Hawks be stressed over Landon Dickerson's physical issue and their inside offense linemen? The injury situations with Dickerson, knee, and focus Cam Jurgens, back, will merit observing intently in the number 1 spot up to the Super Bowl. Jurgens didn't begin in the NFC title against the Washington Commandants, however was called right into it when his substitution, Dickerson, was sidelined for the final part. Super Bowl 59. Bosses Birds. Early gander at the Super Bowl matchup. Barnwell. Title game focus points, ESPN+. Wagering chances, notes and patterns. Plan, full section see more. Jurgens looked solid as he advanced off the field to the storage space after the game Sunday, however showed he'd be great to play against the Bosses. Dickerson, regularly the group's left watchman, didn't give an update, however has regularly played through injury during his time in Philly. The Hawks have quite possibly of the best collaborator in football in hostile line mentor Jeff Stoutland, who has a deep-rooted record of capitalizing on his players and having the reinforcements prepared to play. The hostile line performed well against Washington with Tyler Steen filling in at left watch and Dickerson and Jurgens parting time at focus. Presently, they should manage one of the most mind-blowing protective handles in the game in Chris Jones. He'll test the dependability of that inside hostile line.